I'm Sal Sincata, and this is Shutter Network.
This episode powered by Signature Collection Albums. Buy any New York Collection two-tone album and get a Brooklyn Collection album for 60% off. Use code BOGO60. Offer valid through March 15th.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world, welcome to Shutter Network. And we've got an amazing episode, an amazing month actually. This month it's all about sales and marketing, and the information we're giving to you is timely, is it not? I mean, think about it. January and February, those are the months you want to focus on the business of photography, right? Because once we start hitting April, May, June, we're in season. The last thing you should be focusing on is marketing at that point. Of course, marketing efforts are happening year round, but you know what I mean. In the beginning of the year, that's when we have the time to focus. Once we get into season, you are dealing with the aftermath of all the marketing you should have been doing now. So if you're not busy come June or July, it's because you weren't doing the right things now. And so this episode, we've got some great things lined up. We are going to talk about what I believe your branding should be, where I see photographers making tons of mistakes. But I've got a special guest from PhotoBiz today. We've got Phil here, and he is going to talk to us about mistakes he's seeing, because he's also a business mind. He's also a marketing guy, and I always love having those conversations. I think anybody can teach you how to light with a flashlight or a candle light, hanging off a cliff. But the reality is, to get you to that cliff, we got to start doing the business stuff, and that starts now. So let's just start digging into this. Again, this is the time that we want to focus on all this stuff. And so what should you be looking at? That's usually the question I get, right? Everybody's overwhelmed when we talk about sales and marketing, especially if you're a photographer. How did most of us get started in photography? All of us are kind of the same, right? We started the same place. Somebody put a camera in our hands. We took a picture of a rock, of a kid, of a bride, of something, and then someone close to us encouraged us and said, "You're a pretty good photographer. You should do this for a living." And then the next thing you know, we went from being a hobbyist, enthusiast, to being a small business owner. Those two things don't always meld together, right? Because the reality is, just because you're a good photographer doesn't mean you're a good business owner. And I always look to my family, and friends and people around me for a good example. My father-in-law, he's an attorney. He's a great attorney. That doesn't make him a great marketer. That doesn't make him a great social media blogger. My father-in-law doesn't know anything about Twitter. He doesn't want to know anything about Twitter. He wants to do what he's good at, and that is being an attorney. Doctors are the same boat, right? Bakers, same situation. Photographers, we are notorious for being good at our craft, but horrible at all the ancillary things. And so that's where we have to start focusing, and that's where I want to drill in. So great, Sal, you got my attention. I believe everything you're saying, but where do I start? Yes, that's the conversation I want to have today. What are some of the things you can focus on right now? When you're done with this episode, you can walk away and start implementing these things. What can you do now to get yourself prepared for success this year? And so the first place I want you to look is your logo. And this is funny because we as photographers, we make fun of people because we go, well, just because you got a camera doesn't make you a photographer, right? Everybody's a photographer. We hear that conversation all the time. Well, just because you own Photoshop doesn't mean you're a graphics designer. I got news for you. About 90% of you, your logos suck. And the reason is because we're not graphic designers, and that's fine. Just acknowledge you're not a graphic designer and get in touch with one. You guys have met through the magazine or through Shutter Network, Justin Hong, visuallore.com. The guy is a genius, and he works with tons of photographers to create their logos. That is the first thing you should have lined up for your business. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, Sal, I need that flashy new lens. I need that perfect off-camera flash. I need. No, you don't need. What you really need is the face of your company. And your logo is going to be on your website, is going to be on your marketing material, it's going to be on your packaging, it's going to be everywhere you are. And so if you miss the boat on your logo, you've just ruined everything you're about to do for the next year. And while we're talking about logo, you might think to yourself, it's not that big a deal, but perception is reality. When a bride, a client, let's say, is looking for a photographer and they see your logo, within 2 to 3 seconds, they're making all sorts of assumptions about your business. If your logo looks like a mom and pop shop, they're going to assume you're a mom and pop shop. And if you're a mom and pop shop, they're not going to pay top dollar for your services. That's reality. Why would I pay top dollar for something that looks like a mom and pop shop? But when I go to Louis Vuitton, when I go to Starbucks, when I go to Mercedes-Benz, their logo, their branding, their messaging says to me it's high end. Well, I expect to pay top dollar for those services. Do you see how this works? This is human behavior. It's psychology. And you have to understand the psychology of the sale. This is what we all go through. And so I really do want you to focus on that. The next thing you can focus on is that Gmail account of yours. And so if you think about it, nothing screams mom and pop like Bob and Sue Photography at gmail.com. I don't even understand why you have it, to be quite honest. You have a website. Whatever your website name is, 90% of your hosting companies, maybe even 100% of your hosting companies, offer the ability to tag, to offer email services off that account. Why in God's name have you not set this up? Stop being so freaking lazy and just set it up. It's not even expensive. I know Gmail is easy, but that is not what screams big business. Perception is reality. You're going to keep hearing me say the same thing over and over again. These are two things I've just told you about that you can make these changes almost immediately to your business and start changing that perception. Look, if you just want to be a weekend warrior for the rest of your life, don't change a thing. Don't even listen to me. Stop watching. But if you're serious about getting your business to that next level, you've got to start taking these things to heart and start investing the time, let alone the money, into getting it to that next level. So come on, man, change your email. Your website. Look, Phil's going to be on. We're going to talk about websites, but there are some really bad websites out there. And for the life of me, I don't really understand why. There's template-driven sites. Yeah, there's everything from a 1999 template that you can install. They don't look very professional. They look like templates. There's those mid-level sites where you can pay anywhere from $20 a month to $100 a month, and they look more customized, more professional feeling. And then there's those high-end sites where you're going to pay a developer from scratch to develop your website, custom branded, and all those things. There's nothing wrong with any of them. But where does your brand sit? Are you a low-end brand? Are you a photographer charging $500 a month or $500 a wedding? That's fine. Then you can operate on one of those low-end sites. Are you a photographer that's in that $1,000 to $3,000 range, $5,000 range? You've got to make sure your website, the functionality of it, the store that's tied to it, all match the brand and perception you want to put out in that marketplace. Again, these are, in my world, these are common sense things. But what I'm finding in the world of artistry, we miss the boat on what's common sense. And it's penny wise, pound foolish stuff. Oh, I'm going to choose this website for $9.99 a month, even though it sucks and it doesn't really look good, versus getting that site that's $19.99 a month because I can save $10 a month. That's brilliant. You just saved $100 a year, and that will have cost you, if it cost you one sale, was it really worth it, the $100 a year? We got to start thinking like business people and just stop thinking like dumbasses. I mean, this is business 101. If you want to be successful, we need some tough love. We need to get this stuff going and going in the right direction. So focus on your website right here, right now. Now is the time to make those changes. Next thing that drives me absolutely bonkers, and if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know how I feel about that out-of-office responder that you guys all have hooked up to your accounts. For some odd reason, I have no idea. Hi, this is Sue. We're out on vacation. I'll be checking email on Tuesdays from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We'll be away from email, won't have access for the next 30 days. Hope everybody has a great new year. What? What is wrong with you? I got an autoresponder from one of you yesterday, and in the autoresponder in there said, if you ordered your album in October of 2014, it will not be ready till January of 2015. First of all, I don't even want to get started on the timeline of your deliverables. That's fine. But why am I getting an autoresponder mid-January telling me about an album that may have been ordered in October? And by the way, if a new bride is hiring you and sent you an email saying, hey, can I have more information? Your autoresponder is really sending the wrong message to them. Just turn off your autoresponder. Say nothing. I would rather you not respond for 24 hours than send an autoresponder that just basically reads, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Because that's the wrong messaging to be sending your client. Instead, Just say, I'm out of office for the next 24 hours. I'll respond as quickly as I can. For me, internally, there is no autoresponder. I try to respond to email as fast as I possibly can, whether I'm connected on my phone, whether I'm connected on my laptop, wherever I am, I'm trying to be connected. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Sal, I want a life. Well, unfortunately, you chose to be a sole proprietor. And as a sole proprietor, you are customer support, you are the sales team, you are the web developer, you are all these things if you want to be a sole proprietor. Again, if you don't want to be a sole proprietor, that's fine. Step away. But if you want to be successful, these are the things you have to start doing and doing now. Colors. This is just about an entire branding conversation in general. What colors describe your brand? And here's how you have to think about it. When we talk about colors, we're talking about your logo, your website, your packaging that you deliver to your client, the folio that you hand to your client for them to look at their pricing. All of these things matter when we start talking about the look and feel of your brand. And I need you to start thinking about that now. What colors best represent your brand? And whatever those colors are, I'm not here to judge your colors. Look at your brand from a 50,000-foot view. Does the website, the marketing material, and your logo, let's just stick with those three things for a second. Do those things all look the same? Are they cohesive? And if I had to pick one word to describe this entire episode, it's about cohesiveness, right? Cohesiveness is where I see most artists, small businesses in general, make mistakes, right? The Gmail account, that is not cohesive messaging. That is not your brand. A bad logo, a bad Gmail account, no autoresponder that makes logical sense. These are things that are not cohesive across a brand. If you want your customers to believe you offer good service, it is definitely not going to come from sending out a poorly worded autoresponder out to them. You see where I'm going with this? And so back to colors. We have to make sure the colors are cohesive and match everything that you're doing. You can't pretend to be, I'm making up names now, Flowers by Susie, right? Flowery by Susie, right? Whatever your brand is, and then your colors are black and white. That doesn't make any sense, right? If the name is Flowery by Susie, I would expect you to have something that was bright, vibrant, colorful. Do you see where I'm going here? Those things have to make sense to your consumer. And the reason this is so important is because consumers are being bombarded by this stuff, whether they want to be or not, every time they watch TV, every time they pick up a magazine, every time they drive by a billboard. Multi-million-dollar ad campaigns are competing with your mom and pop ad campaign, whether you want to believe that or not. When that bride is picking up Brides Magazine, a national publication, and she's flipping to page 35 and sees the ad for Vera Wang, she's comparing that subliminally to your ad campaign, which looks like it's chicken scratch on an ad campaign, and you've got 5 images overlaid over each other. It just looks like throw up on a page. These are the kind of things we have to start being conscious of. Next is just overall messaging. When we talk about overall messaging, it's a great word, sounds awesome, but what does that really mean? Messaging, let's just stick with copy for a second when it comes to messaging. Who are you? If I come to your website and I start poking around your website, whether it's your About Us, your wedding page, your portrait page, who are you? You can tell me who you are in a number of ways. You can tell me who you are through the colors you've selected. You can tell me who you are through your logo, through the name of your business even. You can tell me who you are through your images. Who are you? Are you a photojournalist? Are you more of a portrait photographer? Are you a senior photographer? Well, if you're a wedding photographer, why am I seeing pictures of babies on your website? That's messaging. You see where I'm going with this? Once again, we get confused. We just throw all these things up on our page. I take pictures of everything. So I'm going to put all these things up on my website, and I'm just going to confuse the shit out of my audience. Take a guess at what I do. That messaging is so important. That's also important when you're sending out flyers, when you're going to a bridal show. I did a bridal show last year, no lie, and I walk through the bridal show and I look at other photographers and what work they're posting, and I go to this one booth, and this one booth has nothing but 8x10s in their booth, and it's 60% of the pictures were baby pictures. They were there to compete for wedding photography. How? How are you going to compete? And by the way, how are you going to sell anything? You're now educating your bride that what they should come to expect from you is an 8x10. Not a big portrait, an 8x10. Would you consider that messaging? I do. To me, that's all tied to messaging. Some of that messaging is direct and blunt, and some of that messaging is, again, very soft, very subliminal in the messaging you're communicating to your clients. So we've got to start thinking about that. Hopefully I'm waking you guys up right now because this is stuff I'm super passionate about. I have a business degree, you all know that, a business school graduate, and when I look at the world of photography, I just see opportunity over and over and over again. Stop worrying about your competitors. Stop worrying about anything they're doing. Instead, forge your own path and take control of your own destiny. Marketing, messaging, these two things, yes, very, very closely tied together because obviously messaging is going to be built into your marketing. But when we're talking about marketing, we're going to come full circle again with what is it you offer? Okay, so when we're thinking about this year and we're thinking about 2015, I need you to ask yourself a question. What's the difference between me and every other photographer in my market? Between me and every other photographer on the planet? Is it your off-camera flash? Is it your camera? Is it the way you dress? Is it the way you look? Is it the imagery you create? Is it your website? I don't know what the answer is for you, but if you don't know what the answer is and what makes you different, how will anybody else know? And that's the key there. I know what makes me different. When I look in my market, right, and we do 35 to 45 weddings a year, when I look in my market and I ask myself, what makes Salvatore Cincotta Photography stand out from the crowd? The answer to me is simple. Service, personality. I'm a high energy person. And so when I'm meeting with that bride, that stands out all the time. That's my number one competitive advantage. So service, personality, and then quality of product. We offer high-end products to our clients. I offer luxury albums that they don't see anywhere else. Those three things alone are the staple of what is Salvatore Cincotta Photography. And is it something that my competitors can't do? I think they can. I think anybody can do what we do. I don't think it's that magical, but it's those things coupled with all the other things I've listed: logo, branding, messaging, right? Perception. Those are the things that make us successful, and you've got to find a way to incorporate that into your business. And packaging, and I'm going to cut to a scene where I'm going to show you what packaging we offer, but when we deliver products to our clients, we're not just delivering paper, photo paper in a flimsy piece of plastic. We're packaging these things. That branding, that packaging all matches. It's black, which is the same color as our entire brand. Everything we do is black. Black on black, black on silver. This messaging, this branding, these colors all represent the brand Salvatore Cincotta Photography. So when we deliver our product to our clients, we're not just delivering a product, we're delivering an experience. And that's truly important to understand how all this stuff works together. And then finally, what products are you offering to your clients? You can't be a high-end photographer and then offering prints from Walmart. There is a difference, okay? Whether your clients understand that difference or not, we can save that for another time. But there is a difference between offering just a print and then offering metal prints, acrylic prints, high-end wedding albums versus just press-printed books. Yes, I understand press-printed books are inexpensive for you and you have a lot of profit on them, but press-printed books look cheap. They feel cheap. Luxury albums don't feel cheap. They don't look cheap. Therefore, the consumer assumes they're going to have to pay more money for these products. And that's how we build our business. That's how we build our brand. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we stand out from the crowd. And so hopefully I've got you guys energized. I've got you fired up. You've been taking notes feverishly, and you're ready to take your business to the next level. So these are just some tips and tricks, man. And so next up, we've got Phil from PhotoBiz. He's going to be talking to us about some ideas. We're going to have a really good conversation. Pay attention to it. But we've got some great giveaways for you today. So I need you to get social. We've got a portfolio site from PhotoBiz valued at $250. So there's no reason, here we go. There's no reason for you not to have your website because we're going to push this out there and you're going to have a brand new website effective immediately. And I'm giving away something else. I totally forgot what I'm giving away. What am I doing? Yes, sorry. Portfolio review for you guys out there. So what you're going to do is you're going to send me your top 15, 20 images. I'm going to do a video for you and I'm going to give you a portfolio review and I'm going to review your website. And so I'm going to give you honest feedback to help coach you and take you to that next level. But again, I need you to get social. So what was your aha moment in this part of the episode? Aha moment, hashtag Shutter Network, or on Facebook, BT Shutter. Tell us your aha moment and make sure that you're ready to take your business to that next level. So don't go away. Right after the break, we're going to be back with Phil from PhotoBiz.
This segment powered by PhotoBiz. The time has never been better to get started with a new website or to revitalize your existing brand than right now. Use the exclusive promo code SHUTTER to get a 50% discount on a new PhotoBiz website. What are you waiting for?
All right, everyone, welcome back. I am here with Phil from PhotoBiz. Phil, welcome.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate having me here. It's an honor to be here. You've been such a good partner of ours over the years. I'm happy to do this segment with you.
Yeah, I love PhotoBiz always, and you and I have been having amazing conversations off air. It's like I feel like I've known you forever, but it's like minds. You have a little bit of a Microsoft background.
Yep.
You've been doing stuff with that, so it's like our minds just start going. But before we get going, tell everybody your name and what your role is, more importantly, at PhotoBiz.
Absolutely. So Phil Parker, Director of Marketing Strategy for PhotoBiz. So I've been recently hired to kind of help focus our own messaging and our own product out to the larger marketplace. We're actually getting ready to launch a brand new website this week. Photobiz.com is going to be rebranded for a larger portion of photographers and for visual artists across the world. We've got several thousand existing photography customers, 15 or so thousand customers right now. We're looking to expand that. We are in the business of not just providing web services, Sal, but we're really focused on helping small businesses grow, right? So that means services. All the stuff you talked about in your opening segment, the branding, the messaging, all that stuff is critical, and these guys aren't getting it, right? So at PhotoBiz, it's our job to really help the small business grow from the mom and pop shop to the big time success that they want to do, right?
And they do need that help, and and I don't know if you guys know the history of PhotoBiz. We started using PhotoBiz back in 2007, 2008, and from my, I'm speaking from my perspective. I'm not being, this isn't being solicited. When we saw, I remember the day me and Taylor saw PhotoBiz. We walked up. They were one of the first companies out there doing the Flash sites, and obviously Flash has changed nowadays. Right. But back in the day, man, that was progressive. It was something I needed, and most importantly, it was easy. I didn't need to be a developer.
And I think that's the key point about PhotoBiz, is that we've always found ourselves right at the very cusp, right? So when Flash was cool and hip and everyone had to have it, we focused all of our attention on making the best Flash websites out there possible. And as soon as the marketplace kind of shifted a little bit, we went from Flash to HTML5, and now we provide all that HTML5 technology for all of our customers. We still have a whole bunch of customers still on Flash that we're converting over little by little, but they love their site so much it's hard to convince them, right?
They got to let go of that Flash, man. In the spirit of all that, let's talk a little bit about, some areas where you see, as especially in your role, but more importantly in your experience. You bring a lot of experience to the table, I think. Where do you see photographers or small business owners, better said, making mistakes?
I think I'll start with one of the critical things that I think is the biggest part, right? There's a couple other things we'll get into. You touched on some in the opening segment, but I want to talk about small businesses focusing on their market, right? Selling their services. You touched on it a couple times about the bridal show that you went to, and the folks had the 8x10 with the baby shots there. Yeah. It's like, come on, are you serious, right? You're not hitting the right target. So we see this all the time with websites, right? So you'll have a wedding photographer or someone shooting seniors, and photographers being artists, they'll want to pick their best picture, right, and put it up there, and that may be some studio shot that doesn't reflect the marketplace that they're going to. And this is the biggest thing. It's not really about the image that stinks. It's the fact that you're not trying to target your market.
Photographers they're artists, man. They're like, but this image is beautiful. And yes, it is, but it's not going to get you the right client.
Right. So, that's the biggest critical mistake that I see is not putting the right images up on your website. Having a portfolio website means don't put 100 images up there. We don't want to see them all. No one's going to scroll through 90 images, right? They're all beautiful. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You take good pictures.
Right.
Don't put them all on your website, right? Focus on the ones that target your audience the right way. This is the type of client I want to see. Tell your story on the About Us page. You hit the nail on the head when you're talking about that. It is important to tell people who you are. Here's what I focus on, here's how long I've been doing it, and here's why you should hire me. Tell people up front what that message is. The branding part is so critical, but social media. Let's start with that one, the second one, right? So social media is, to me, the biggest laughable mistake that people make, right? So you get a photographer that starts, or any small business owner that starts, and they think, well, I got to get up on Facebook. Well before they even put their website up, and their Facebook profile is their #1 destination.
A lot of times we're dealing with photographers. They don't have a website. They send us to their Facebook page to act as their website. It doesn't make sense. Like if you want to tell the world, hi, I'm small, set up your Facebook page as your only online presence.
Only online presence is key there, Sal, because having a Facebook or any social presence is critical to expanding that message. But here's what people miss. The social media aspect of your business is your social proof. You put your best work, don't put your best work on Facebook,
Right.
Put your best work on your website, and then add to your audience by showing them the social proof by getting them on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, on your Pinterest. And here's the biggest problem, Sal. People think they freak out with social media, right? Oh my gosh, I got to get on everything. Give me an Instagram, give me a Pinterest, give me a Facebook, give me a Twitter, right? No, dude.
Well, and why get those things if where I see the problem is they get all these assets, they get them wired up, and then they don't post anything out there.
Right.
Because that's the next logical challenge, right? It's like, okay, now I am plugged into every possible social platform there is. What the hell am I even pushing out there, right? And now they're inactive. And I think, personally, I would rather see photographers not have a Facebook page, a Pinterest page, not have it versus have it and post nothing there, because I think that inactivity is worse.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely worse. And the biggest complaint that I hear is that people get those things set up. They'll get their Pinterest set up or their Instagram, and they don't use it. And I'm like, well, why do you set all these up? Do one and do it well, right? And Facebook is the natural choice. I mean, everyone's on Facebook. Everyone loves it, and it's a great platform to showcase your work, throw up specials, interact with your friends, et cetera, et cetera. But Instagram is great for video. Pinterest is great for video as well. I mean, a lot of these things are great in expanding the brand, but people have this anxiety about getting on everything, and then they screw it up by trying to do everything, and they don't do enough.
Right.
So do one and do it well.
No, that's brilliant. And I do want to come back to talking about the images one more time, because I talk about that all the time when we're online. That's one of the things I say, like, you have about, and I might be being generous here, about 30 seconds to show someone that they should hire you, right, in those images. And if in the first 30 seconds, and I call it about 10 images,
right.
If in your first 10 images it doesn't signal who you are as an artist, you've lost them. And so I go to a lot of photographers' website, and then that first picture is a pair of shoes. I've never had a bride hire me because I take, wow, those pictures of those shoes are just beautiful, Sal. And so I don't know why they even show them. And so instead, what I try and do on my website, I think I probably have about 20 to 25 pictures in my wedding portfolio, and the images I try to show are all what I call my signature edits, my shots that define my brand.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of photographers get lost.
Yep.
What else? What are some issues you see?
Well, so we talked a little bit about images and the disparities of putting way too many. We talked a little bit about social media. You touched on another segment in the opening about branding, right, and your logo, right? So, PhotoBiz, we've grown up as a website only kind of company, right? And now we're moving more into how do we help small businesses grow with their business. Branding is a key opportunity. Search engine optimization is key. All these things, but where we're finding the biggest bang is teaching people about how to brand their business. And the logo is key, right? So the logo and the colors, you talked about it, but on invoices, on emails, you spoke my language just earlier when you talked about why are you still on a Gmail account? It kills me every time I see someone spends money on their logo, money on their website, and everything's starting to look great. We've even convinced them that you carry this logo over into your invoices on your store and put it on everything. And then we see that their account still has Larry and Bob Susan at gmail.com. And I'm like,
you can't even explain it. Like, I don't understand why. You can't even say it's about money.
So here's what happens. People have had that email address for such a long time.
That makes sense.
That's the biggest hurdle we see, right?
Yeah.
So I've got all my contacts in my Gmail account. I've got, all my emails. It's like, I understand your pain. I understand your pain, but you're losing business,
right? Because
you want to keep grandma in your contacts folder.
Yeah.
Like, switch it over, man. Come on.
You gotta figure out a way to move past that without a doubt. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. People get so connected. It's like my mom. This is such a weird story. My mom has had her American Express card, I want to say, for damn near 30 years. And in having that for 30 years, they sent her a new card. She lost her card or something happened. They gave her a new card, and on that new card, the number changed. Okay?
She probably flipped out.
She lost her mind. And I couldn't wrap my head around why she cared about that. But man, was she worked up about it so much that it had to escalate to like 3 levels high of support to get her original card number back because she was ready to leave
Wow.
them.
Wow.
How do you explain? Like, you can't explain that.
Well, people just get, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier for us to sit up here and throw stones at glass houses, but, it's difficult. And so, I get that. And so, we try and coach customers about, the pains of understanding these important aspects. And you and I could probably talk for 2 hours about this subject. And we may have to carry it on.
I have a feeling you and I, like, in a bar, drinks, politics, religion, we'll just
We'll just
go
whole
forever.
thing.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that we try and coach our customers on is in order for you to be successful, in order for you to take your passion for photography or whatever it is in life and to create a monetizable opportunity for you to live off of it, you have to consider these things. I mean, you spend, these small businesses spend so much time on equipment or studios and cameras and lighting and all this stuff, but then they forget that the website and all the branding that goes along with it is a critical business tool that they have to have in their tool belt.
Right.
They can't just use that as, oh, well, I'll throw a website up, or I'll just get it up later, or we'll worry about it another time. If you didn't do that day one, you're missing out. You're missing out.
No,
So-
you're spot on about all that. But I am curious now. Tell me a little bit about what you're calling services, because you've got me very interested.
Yeah, so this is something that we're introducing this year. We've done it for the last 6-12 months. I mean, we've been offering a lot of services, kind of under the radar a little bit. But like I said, we're coming out with our new website, and so search engine optimization.
So you'll do this for customers.
Absolutely.
They'll just pay you a fee.
Yep.
Flat fee, monthly fee.
It's a flat fee, because what we do is we set their website up. We give them the tips and tricks on what we're doing. Set up their metadata, their H1 tags, all the kind of nuts and bolts things.
Right, that they don't understand, by
That
the
they
way,
don't
because they're not web developers.
Right, correct. And then we'll teach them about what it means to be localized with your search, all the keywords that you talk about. I mean, the About Us page is critical. People put in, a novel of stuff about them. It's not necessary. It's the right message on the right pages.
By the way, no one wants to read about the fact that you like long walks on a beach. Like, no one freaking cares.
Nobody cares. But so it's a service that we offer. It's gaining a lot of traction. We're doing two levels of it. One is kind of the do-it-yourself. We'll give you the coaching. We'll coach you for an hour or two on how to do it. We'll give you all the tools that you want to, if you want to do it. A lot of people like to do this stuff. I mean, they want to get involved. So we're going to offer them a package to do it. Or they can just pay us and we'll take care of everything. It's very affordable. It's fantastic. We're seeing a lot of success with it.
What are some other services you're going to offer? So it sounds like SEO.
Search engine, and we're doing a lot of custom design services. So it's kind of that, you get your first starter website, you put all your images up there. It's a great looking template. It's a good looking start. But you start to get more business and you want to kind of graduate to the next level, right? So
that's actually brilliant, dude.
So we're helping people take their business to the next level by giving them quick design services, tips on how to continue to do it themselves if they want to. But we're kind of branding ourselves as kind of this small business expert. So we're kind of holding your hand as you graduate up and giving you the tools that you need to be successful.
Yeah, the thing is, it's funny because just over the years, I think photographers in general, whether it's the word on the street, whatever you want to call it, they would feel like PhotoBiz was that kind of starter site.
Right.
But then when they graduated, right, for lack of a better word,
Sure.
they were either paying some random web developer, but they may have loved PhotoBiz.
Yep.
They just needed that next level. So that's really, really huge that you guys are offering that now. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's we're answering the call of the marketplace. I mean, we're eating what we preach, right?
Yeah.
So all of our customers, we still have the great passionate support of all of our folks down in support. That's another thing that we most of our competitors don't offer.
No, your
somebody on the phone.
Yeah, your support, no doubt, is amazing.
So our people are fantastic, and we have a team now in our support group that are brand consultants. So, hey, I've got a question not about how to do this on my site, but listen, I'm not getting the right leads in my local market. What do I need to do?
That's huge.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
All part of being a PhotoBiz customer. That's not extra.
Wow. So if somebody has a PhotoBiz account, now they have access to all these other things. I love so who are the people that are behind the scenes on something like that? Like, that seems like that's incredible to be staffing those kinds of people.
We've got an incredible network of creative professionals that are passionate about serving the creative community. So, I mean, we've got a fun environment, ping pong tables, cereal bars, you name it. The type of technology company that you would expect. And we have a group of folks that are just passionate about helping other creative professionals.
There's a lot of truth in that. That's not just like a bunch of marketing,
No.
nonsense. Every time I run into your people, whether it's at trade shows or side meetings or whatever, man, they're just happy all the time. I'm starting to think you give them drugs.
Well, it could be the milk that we provide for the cereal bar.
In the
but
cereal bar.
You know, but,
is that the trick? I'm going to start
yeah.
offering that, free milk.
Yeah.
We just have cereal upstairs. We don't give them the milk.
Yeah.
That's extra. Very cool. What are there other services you guys are starting to offer in
Well,
this?
search engine, custom design. We also do logo design and some other things.
That's cool as well.
And a lot of coaching.
Okay.
Really just about coaching.
Hey man, the thing is, I think in today's marketplace, I'm a big advocate of being a sole proprietor. I mean, but you've got to figure out how are you scaling. The reality is, as a photographer, we don't make money if we're not shooting. That's just the reality of it. Right. And that's fine, but now we have to understand, where do I outsource, right? And where do I do it myself? And yeah, I'm an ex-Microsoft guy. Could I sit down and program my website from scratch myself? Sure. I don't have time for that because I opted to be a professional photographer. And so I think that I love seeing what you guys are doing, where you're going, hey, we're going to be moving forward into the future. I feel like you're becoming a partner, right? Not just a web hosting provider. Right. You're becoming a business partner.
That's really where we want to go. I mean, that's the future of our business. That's the future of our customers. So, whether it's the services we just talked about or domain registration, we're going to be that one-stop shop that provides all those quality services. We're coming out with forms and contacts. So we'll have a CRM, basically a CRM system on the back end of our websites.
That's huge.
So all these third-party tools here and there, pick and choose. We're gonna be the sole provider of all that stuff, and so we're leaving just the template design of websites behind and really moving into the next phase, which is the solutions provider for small businesses.
That's awesome. And so where can everybody go for more info? Because by the time they see this, your new site will be live.
Photobiz.com. I mean, it's brand new. It's got everything you want. Go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/photobiz. We have tons of video content up there about all of our services. SEO, logo design, custom design, all of our videos are up there. Go check us out.
That's awesome. Well, Phil, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, thank you,
and,
Sal.
Yeah, me and you need to get together again, and then we pick cards about business topics, and we just start talking.
Just go
about
all
it.
day.
Yeah, we just go all day.
I love it.
Well, hey guys, I hope you are just reinvigorated about your website and just everything about branding in general. This has been a really I think aggressive episode, for lack of a better word, on things you need to be doing and start doing now. And of course, we got great giveaways for you. So we are going to do a free portfolio site from PhotoBiz, $250 value, and then I'm going to do a portfolio review for you. So I'm going to let you send me about 15, 20 images, and then I'm going to go out and review your website, and I'm going to give you some honest feedback about where I think you're missing the boat and where you can get better. But I need you to get social for me. So get out there. What was your aha moment today? Hashtag Shutter Network, or on Facebook, BT Shutter. And next week we'll be picking one lucky winner, and we'll get you going on your 2015 journey to take it that next level. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.